Right now, we have made connection with the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Sir, good morning. Thank you so much for the time today, and I'm glad that you are doing well and recovered from COVID.
Well, I am, and we've had a busy couple of weeks, Frank, and it's been amazing. Actually, it's been some great rallies, and I've actually had a lot of fun. And your show is great, and we have to make this a tradition, right? It's important. Keep it going.
Mr. President, they'll only allow you to run twice, so
I know.
It'll have to be a different office.
Let's talk about that. We'll talk about that someday, Frank.
Yeah, that'd be absolutely great. How has this campaign, sir, been different for you than the first one in 2016?
Well, the first one I had to convince people I would do it, and I could do it. And this one we've done so much, it really was easier. But the one negative was we got hit with COVID, which is not our fault. It was China's fault, and we had that laying over our head. But I would say that this was overall easier because we've really accomplished a lot. We accomplished things that nobody thought, with the tax cuts, the regulation cuts, Space Force, and I mean we could go down a list that's a mile long. And so we've done a lot, and in that way, good. Negative is, of course, the COVID. It's sort of a pale over the country, and it's a terrible thing that happened with China, terrible thing. But we've done very well with it, with the ventilators, and now with the vaccines that are coming out, and really the therapeutics or cures. And like when I had it, I used this Regeneron. It was incredible. And mortality, the 85% number, that's incredible. How it's gone down. It's been incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've done a good job, but it's very unfortunate for the whole world because look what's happening in Europe now with the spike, and very unfortunate for the world. But we've had rallies that nobody's ever seen anything like it, Frank. It's been great.
Oh, it's remarkable, and a lot of those here in Michigan recently, where people have become engaged and really, really anxious to see their president in person. And my buddy Ted Nugent played the anthem for you the other day. I understand.
That's right.
That was amazing.
What a great guy he is. And we had. I saw him the other night. We had last night in Grand Rapids. We closed it out in Grand Rapids because, being a little superstitious, I figured let's do it the same way. And so we closed it out, and I hear the lines are through the roof today. I hear it's are you hearing that, by the way?
Yes, we're hearing that throughout Michigan, Mr. President. The fellow who does the morning show, Paul W. Smith, was on, and he was talking to voters about it, and they were all describing very, very busy very, very busy voting places here in the Metro Detroit region.
Well, that's supposed to be good for us, right? That's supposed to be good for us, so we'll see how that is. But they say the lines are record-setting. They've never seen anything like it. And it's like the rallies, I guess. When they do a poll and they have 135 people, then they charge $500,000, for a ridiculous poll. The real poll is the fact that 45,000 people show up to a rally. That's a poll, and they walk away loving it. It's really something. So I think, and I hope all your listeners, you have so many listeners, I hope your listeners get out and vote. That's really important. But, I always say we will not let this be a socialist nation. We should have learned. We learned a long time ago it can't be a socialist nation. So it's one of those things. I hope they get out and vote.
Mr. President, I saw there's a campaign sign on one of our freeways, I-75, right around 11 Mile Road in Oakland County here, and it is from the Chinese Americans of this country, and they say, "We fled socialism. Vote for Trump."
That's great. I love that.
It makes the point
really
so succinctly. Yeah, it's
that's
unreal.
Great. I love that because they have had not that easy a time because of what happened with China, and it has absolutely nothing to do with them or the people of China, for that matter. But that's a great sign. I love you telling me that.
All right. Well, I'm happy to pass that along. And one final question for you, if I may, Mr. President. I'd like to get an update on your health, how you're feeling, and then I'd like to get your sort of your gut feel on how this is going to turn out today.
So my health is really good. I had COVID, and I recovered very quickly. And I think really through the therapies that we developed over the last, we've done a great job with this, but I've done a terrible job of public relations because, or I have a press that just won't allow it to be. You understand that. You understand that better than anybody. But we've done a great job, and we've done also really good on the therapies, and the vaccines are coming, and they're coming very shortly. They're coming right down the road. But they have already therapeutics. I call it cure because, frankly, I took one that was unbelievable. The next morning I felt like I joke, I said I feel like I was Superman. And so we're doing very well with it. And I say we're making the turn with or without vaccines. We're going to have the vaccines. That'll make it much faster. But we're making the turn, and we understand the disease and all. And it's I think we're doing really well on that. I think that we're going to do very well. I think that we might have a chance. We had 306 last time. It was 223 to 306. And I think we can do even better than that. And you may be seeing it, but the spirit of people, and it's turning out that their lines all over the country are so long, and they're really, Republicans vote. They didn't build up much of a lead. The Democrats, they have to build up that big lead with the ballots, build it up really big, and then in theory, if it's big enough, you can't catch it. Well, they didn't build up a very big lead, and I think we have more people. We have such energy. I call it the Great Red Wave, and that's what we have. It's a great red wave. So I think we're going to be in good shape in places that you would least suspect also. So it's going to be big. I hope to beat last time. We were at 306, and let's see if we can beat it.
All right. Where's the surprise state that you just referenced there? You really caught my attention with that.
Well, I think Minnesota could be because, that hasn't been won since 1972. That's a long time, right?
Yeah.
And I think Minnesota could be. I think that's the one Ronald Reagan, he lost one state, right? And I think it was Minnesota, but hasn't been won since 1972. And Minnesota could be a state where it's, between Omar and between and the riots in Minneapolis that we put out, we had to come in and put it out. We did a good job. I think Minnesota could be, that could happen. And we have a couple of others, but maybe we'll save them. But I think we're going to have the most important thing is that we have a great evening, and I think we have a chance, a really good chance of winning. I hope we're going to win. I think we're going to win, actually.
All right, Mr. President, really appreciate the time this morning. Thank you so much. We're glad you're fully recovered from COVID, and thank you so much for all you have done for the country, sir.
Well, thank you, Frank, and you really have a great show. It's an honor to talk to you, and have a good day.
The pleasure is all mine, sir. You have a great day as well. Election Day 2020 with the President of the United States, the 45th President, Donald